Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. I'd like to issue a warning tonight. The Democrats are trying to distract you. What are they trying to distract you with? Well, of course, the Epstein files and all of these emails. They release a few. The Republicans say, no, we won't just release a few. We'll release all of them. And then you get to comb through them. And the Democrats go crazy over this when these emails prove nothing. In fact, in many respects, I've gone through a lot of these emails. I think it vindicates President Trump and any ties he may have had to Epstein, that there was no wrongdoing there at all. See, what the Democrats did the day after President Trump and the Republicans ended the shutdown is the Democrats want to turn to Epstein to distract you from the real truth, that the Democrats are imploding. They are a party filled with radicals that is engaging in the behavior of saboteurs of America. There isn't anything to see in the Epstein files, and if anything, it proves to me that President Trump is innocent of everything, just as we had always expected. Here's Caroline Levitt.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep.
You hear that one little part there about how President Trump kicked Epstein out? If you want to take innuendo from these Epstein emails, I actually think there's a chance President Trump actually was the whistleblower to the FBI. President Trump may have helped the FBI go after Jeffrey Epstein, but that's not the narrative that the mainstream media wants you to know, that President Trump would be a hero in all of this. That's the innuendo that I take away from it all.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, the Democrats have convinced their base that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. But apparently, he was the whistleblower. Okay. Now, I want to be clear about a couple of things real quick right off the bat. What I believe the Democrats are doing is they're trying to distract. This is all a deflection. And often, when a person is deflecting, what do? They accuse you of the thing that they're actually doing. It's like when you are kindly asking a narcissistic person to treat you with a level of respect that is, at least equivalent to the level of respect that you would tend to treat them by. And instead of them acknowledging that your feelings was hurt or that there needs to be a change of behavior, they start talking about all of the things that they believe that you do that validates their terrible treatment of you. Them dear narcissists. With that being said, we over here in our live stream have looked at Morning Coffee, have looked at one of the Epstein emails in which Epstein is speaking about Trump, and he basically says, Trump's about 75% there. Looking at that email, it could mean a few different things. But one thing that I can 100% say is when he said 75% there, that was not a positive thing. If you look at the context of the email, everything that was in the email, it was more of a negative comment. It was more like, this is not something that 75% is. So when he gets to 25% more, is when he's in troubles. That's more like what the email read as, rather than he's 75% there. We get some. And so when I say all that, I just want all of this to be kept in the understanding of is that before the government was shut down, Trump and his administration was actually moving to release the Epstein files. Everybody forgets about this. Mike Johnson was about to bring the vote to the floor. And then as he was about to bring the vote to the floor, probably, I don't know, it was like a couple of days out, maybe a week. What ends up happening is that's when everything the government gets closed down. And when the government gets closed down, Mike Johnson now can't bring the vote to the rest of the Congress or the rest of the Senate or whatever the case, right? He can't bring the vote up because, now we have closed the government. It's not a thing. And what the Democrats was trying to accuse him of, there was somebody who had gotten their seat and they were supposed to get sworn in, and until they get sworn in, that means that they can't do certain duties. They can't do all the duties of their seat. So the Democrats was trying to say he's just not trying to swear in that person's over there. But the whole time, one of the main reasons why the Republicans, and they did not mention this, and this is smart by the Republicans, I'll explain in a second, but they did not mention this. They did not go over the fact that they wanted to release the Epstein files. They, basically stuck to the actual relevancies of who was being hurt because the government was shut down. The government being shut down and the Epstein files not being able to be released should not be one of the top priorities for the American people. Imagine being a liberal who swears up and down that you love people and them poor blacks, we gotta help them out. This is crazy. Like, how do y'all black people live with this? Like, hold on, let me just say something real quick. How do y'all black people look at these liberals in the face that look at you like you cattle, look at you like you stupid, look at you like you don't even know how to operate a computer? Shout out to Kathy Hochul. And they speak about you in these manners and they treat you this way, and you're just like, thank you, boss. I don't get it. Take some agency in your life. We're not living in the 1920s. This is the 2000s, and so much has changed, and you have the ability to change even more. With that being said, when the vote was being brought to the House, let me just backtrack a little. So they wanted to blame the Republicans for not wanting to release the Epstein files, and that's the reason why the Republicans allegedly closed down the government, although every last Republican voted to keep the government open. So this is, like I said, narcissists. We're dealing with narcissists. Narcissists don't want you to live in reality. They 100% live in reality. They live in the reality of we control you. You understand? They don't want you to live in reality, because the more in reality you live, the less control they have over you. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, they are under the impression, or they're giving the impression, like the people that don't want to release the Epstein files are the Republicans, when the Republicans outright, one, didn't want to shut down the government. They have consistently voted to keep the government open the whole entire time, while the Democrats actually closed the government down and said, they taking your SNAP benefits. What? The government's closed because of you. SNAP benefits aren't being given out because of you. Who's doing what? And that's a whole nother story. By the way, while we're on the SNAP benefits for 2 seconds, why are there as many illegals, if not more, on SNAP benefits as they are Americans? The Republicans would never do that. So who did this? The Republicans, who want to remove all illegal people from the country, will never then put those illegals that they don't even want in the country on SNAP, and definitely wouldn't allow so many illegals to be on SNAP that is basically comparable, if not more, than the amount of American citizens that are on SNAP. So who did this? Whose plan was this? That's a whole nother conversation. We'll make a video. So the Democrats are being exposed, and I want to explain something real quick. When we have the actual victims saying Trump has nothing to do with this, when we have Virginia Guthrie, I believe that's how her name is pronounced, R.I.P. to the late Virginia Guthrie, I believe that's how her name is pronounced, who left video of her saying the individuals who were involved with some of this situations that's going on, and Trump name never came up, when the people who are victims are thanking Trump for now making this a thing, and hopefully there's going to be some resolution. But you people, liberals, believe Trump is behind this. At this point, I think that we all have to acknowledge that this is even deeper than a mental illness. This is spiritual warfare. I usually attribute, at least I have been, a lot of this to mental illness. And the reason being is I don't want to condemn souls to hell with my voice. But I think that the obviousness of the situation is just too much. And this is spiritual warfare. This is Satan fighting to keep control of the American people. That's what this is. And I believe that's why so many of the people on the left have to make these physical changes to their body. Remember, just so we could be clear, although people, do things to their bodies for reasons other than the, praising Satan, praising Lucifer. Even though there are people that do things to their bodies under the belief of they're doing it for a different reason. That's a whole nother conversation. There are people who are doing it directly because of the influence of Satan, and they know it. And I believe that at this point we have to acknowledge, and I think that this is only fair to the people who are not I'm saying mentally ill, but obviously being spiritually controlled. I think that this is more fair to the people who aren't mentally ill and are part of the Democratic Party, who aren't being spiritually controlled by Satan and are a part of the Democratic Party. I think that we should point out the ones that are being spiritually controlled and the ones that are exhibiting mental illness in protection of the ones that aren't. Because in all honesty, we need at least two parties. And the fact that it seems like in the very near future, the two parties are going to be communism and Republican. You can say all you want. It's going to be, this is Democrat. These are communist agendas. This is the things that they want to do is communist agendas. This is not that's just what it is. There's no going beyond that. That's what it is. It's communist agendas. And we have a large contingency of communists in America right now. And unless we start deporting these illegal immigrants, we're going to have a large contingency of elected officials, because the illegals are voting illegally, might I add. We're going to have a large contingency of illegal of communist politicians in America. We're just going to have a lot of politicians who are communists because they're protecting the illegals. So that's who the illegals are going to vote for. With that being said, put it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about this. And what are y'all going to do, the liberal extremists, the Satan worshippers? What are y'all going to do when all of the evidence comes out and Trump is 100% not part of the foolery? What's the new thing y'all going to come up with? I'm curious to find out myself. Like, comment, subscribes, join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.